Welcome back, you guys. I'm EFC. This is Blue Lions TV, and welcome to the match preview of our upcoming game tomorrow night against Ajax in the UCL. Now, you guys, I'm super excited for tomorrow's game. Personally, and I know a few people think that I've been making up excuses, but I really think the pitch at Ajax's stadium was really bad, and that's why the ball was constantly bouncing up and down, and that's why the game looks a bit messy at times. But I think playing at home in front of our fans is going to have that galvanizing effect for the team. And in today's match preview, I'm going to break down the press conference, the predicted lineup, and boy, is it going to be an interesting predicted lineup now that KANTE is in the squad for tomorrow's game. And to end things, I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions on tomorrow's game. But before I do any of that, you guys, don't forget to smash the like button. Help me get over 1,500 likes for today's video. And on that note, without wasting any more time, we get straight into things, starting with the review of the press conference. We begin with the press conference, and Lampard gave his thoughts on us qualifying from this year's UCL, with Lampard saying that he thought that this was going to be a tight group, as all teams are capable of taking points off each other. But anyway, moving on, Lampard gave his thoughts on the expectations to qualify, with Lampard saying basically, no disrespect to other teams, but it's expected of us. And I love when Lampard talks like this. I like it because he isn't patronising the players and he isn't patronising the fans. He's basically reassuring us fans that just because the team is young, do not expect the standards to slip. Anyway, big news. Lampard confirmed that KANTE is fit and he is going to be part of the squad in tomorrow's game. And honestly, you guys, I think it's going to pose more headaches, to be honest, with the form of Cover and Jorginho right now. I wonder what Lampard's going to pick, so make sure you guys stay for the predicted lineup part right after the press review. Lampard also confirmed that Rudiger today saw a specialist, so good luck to Rudiger and hopefully he recovers quickly. And with Lampard, he said that he's proud of Mason Mount. And Lampard said that with Mason's long moves in Holland and the Championship, they prepared him really well for this point in his career right now. And is this Lampard low-key saying that the Lone Army worked? The Lone Army did what it's supposed to do, preparing great young talent for future first team roles in this team. Anyway, you guys, we move on to the big question posed today to Frank Lampard, and that was in regards to our transfer ban appeal, which is going to be appealed on the 20th of this month. Now, Lamp said that he's interested in how the process is going to develop. He said that he couldn't comment though, but he's interested because it does affect what we might do in January. When the window is open, opportunities will be looked at. Could Lampard start the clear out within the squad already? And from this point, we move on to Mason Mount. Mason said that he's really happy with how his season's developing, surprising himself by scoring 4 goals already. Mason said that he's always been confident that he was ready to play for this club. He's been playing here for a long time now, and he's worked very hard to get to this moment in time. Mason said that Lamps has been a massive influence in his career. With how Frank knows how him and Tomori like to play, it gives them that bit of an advantage. And you guys, it's exactly what I've been saying. We brought the youth team tactics into the first team. And as I've always been saying, you guys, our academy wasn't only successful based on individual talent. The main reason for that success was the great system and tactics deployed to the team. You can't consistently win so many tournaments and trophies by accident. It comes down to great planning and great coaching. Now, to end with the final interesting point from today's press conference, Mason Mount spoke about how the transfer ban did help give youth an opportunity for this season, but he also understands that players coming in will only help the club develop and win trophies. So honestly, as I keep stressing, Lampard knows what the hell he's doing, and that's why Lampard's approach to competition within the team is only going to make these players become better, technically, but also mentally as well. To play at this level for such a big club where there's so much pressure every single week, you need to have mental toughness. If you're constantly competing for your place every single time, when you can't rest easy knowing that your place could be up for grabs, well, it's the reality of playing for a big club. And if the youth players here want to have long careers at this club, well, it's only right that they understand the pressures behind it, and that's what Lampard's doing to develop that. So, fair play to him. And on that note, you guys, that ends today's press conference review. we now move on to the predicted lineup part for today's video. And honestly, it's going to be quite interesting because now that N'Golo's back, well, this could mean big news for the first team. Now we can finally move on to the predicted lineup for today's video. Now, I've been predicting 3 different lineups. Let's look at the first lineup here. As you guys can see, I've gone for Reece James at right back and N'Golo Kante in the team over cover, and we are going to play a 4-3-3. Now, the reason why I feel we are going to use a 4-3-3 is because we used that same formation when we beat them 1-0 earlier, and you know, I'm basing it on history as well. We played against Liverpool using the same setup twice, and that's what I like about Lampard. Don't fix it if it ain't broke. Now, getting back to things, the reason why I've gone for Reece is because with Kante playing in the team, Lampard may feel that we'll have that extra defensive ability at the back, and Lampard may feel that with Kante being deeper, giving us that protection, we could afford to have a more offensive option at right back. Obviously, we can see Pulisic in the team. With Pulisic performing really well recently, I can't see him losing his place to Hudson-Odoi. And of course, Emerson returning back to the team. And boy, was this guy impressive versus Watford. Now, moving on to the second prediction. And as you guys can see, I've got Aspie playing over Reece. And the reason for that is Lampard may be feeling against Ajax, I want to use a back four that's worked a lot together, that is understanding each other's game. I don't want to tamper with things too much, especially when Ajax are a team that are really good at creating spaces in the half space and between the lines. Lampard may feel that Reece needs a bit more time, and you know, when it comes to Reece and Hudson-Odoi, they're both players that haven't really had a pre-season, so you know, we do forget that, and maybe they need a bit more time acclimatizing with the team. Now, to end with the lineup in which I'm expecting Lampard to pick, of course, it is going to be another 4-3-3. As you guys can see in my midfield, I've got Mason Mount, Korver and Jorginho. And the simple reason for this is because with Kante only returning back, is Lampard going to risk using him already? I'm not too sure. I was thinking at first, could Lampard start Kante and then maybe sub him off? But what I think is the best option to do is to bring Kante on as a substitute. He could replace Mason Mount, and he could be really important because let's hope we're leading in the game. Let's say you sub Mason off at the 70th minute, you bring N'Golo Kante on. That's only going to give us more energy and intensity in midfield, and we're only going to be stronger defending in those final few minutes. So I see it working like that. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now, that's the lineup I see us using in tomorrow's game. In the comment section below, give me your lineup. What lineup do you want to see Lampard picking? Do you think we might see Pulisic and Hudson together? Do you think N'Golo Kante is starting in the team? Or do you think Kante is going to come on as a substitute? Let me know below. And we move on to the final part of today's video. And that's basically me giving my thoughts and opinions on tomorrow's game. Now, that Ajax win came at the perfect time. I think that Ajax win was so significant now because it told all the players, wow, all the hard work, all the effort, all the preparation, that intense pre-season, it finally paid off. We're going in the right direction, and that win against Ajax proved it. It would prove to the team that Lampard is the right manager. If there were any doubts at that point, everything automatically gets erased. And I feel with that win against Ajax, it not only made the team more confident, but it also made the fan base more confident as well. And how exactly did we get that win in the first place? Now, in that game, it really was a massive tactical masterstroke by Frank Lampard. A lot of people expected us to play maybe a more reserved style of football where we'd use a mid to low block, you know, sitting more in our half and looking to play on the counter-attack. And maybe Ajax thought the same thing, because it seemed like they were a bit surprised with how intense our man-marking pressing was. It worked so much, it really stopped them from playing out from the back. It stopped them from finding their key players between the lines. We were really effective. You know, Lampard has brought even more intensity to our press, and the way we utilised that versus Ajax worked in our favour quite a lot. For example, let's say Ajax had the ball in their own half, or they were taking goal kicks. That was when we would tend to start our high press. But let's say Ajax were on the ball, they approached into our own half, we'd move back into our own half using a mid-block setup. This way, the plan was to force Ajax's passing out wide, and once the ball got in the wide areas, we used a lot of aggressive pressing from the fullbacks, the wide midfield player and the wide winger to help win possession back, and it worked in our favour. Once we won the ball back, we focused most of our attacks down the left hand side, and the reason for that was to stop Dest and Ziyech combining within the half spaces and down our flank. And it worked in our favour so much. I thought Ziyech, even though for me, very impressive player, he was really quiet and honestly forgot that he was playing. That's how bad he was. That intensity in our game gave us the slight edge in that encounter, but when guys like Michy and Pulisic came on, with Pulisic being especially vital in helping us, turn the good performance in the second half into a more dominant performance. He came on, he was excellent, he made things happen. And I think since that game, the team's only gotten better. Other players are now finding form. A lot of players are really playing to a better level. I mean, looking at guys like Zuma, looking at guys like Pulisic, Willian, so many of them. And when you combine the team's mentality, with playing in front of the fans at home, you can bet your bottom dollar that every single player wants to get that home win versus Ajax. You want to show off in front of the fans. You want to show off in front of the world. This is a big moment. It's a big moment to seize, and I do feel confident about how we're going to play in tomorrow's game. I feel like things are going to be quite similar to the first game, and I think we're going to look better. If you've got a KANTE returning back, if you've got Emerson playing as well, I feel like we could play even more expansively versus Ajax. And for that reason, you guys, I've gone for another win. At first, I was thinking possibly 1-1, 2-2, but I think it's going to be 2-1 to us. And in the comment section below, give me your thoughts and opinions. What do you see the scoreline being in tomorrow's game, you guys? And on that note, I'm going to wrap things up and keep things moving. I've got a news video to finish off as well. It's a busy day today, you guys. So on that note, I'm AJAX. This is Blue Lions TV, signing out.